For the last part in activity 5.7, you're going to be primarily using the sweep command. You're going to use the sweep command to create a paperclip shaped object. Now, your paperclip you create does not have to look exactly like this one. You'll notice there are no dimensions on here, and I leave them out intentionally. You can create any size paperclip you'd like as long as it resembles a paperclip. That's all I'm looking for. And actually, the one I'm going to show you in this video does not look like this either. The first thing we need to do is go to Inventor, and we're going to create this 2D sketch of the path to create the paperclip. So if I go to Inventor, I'm going to open up a new object and new standard IPT, and I want to create a 2D sketch on the XY plane. Now the first line I'm going to create, I'm going to use the line command, snap to the origin here, and I'm just going to create a line that is approximately, or that is exactly 1 inch long. I'm going to right click and hit OK. I'm going to use the line command again and make sure that I'm snapped to this y-axis, and I'm going to create another horizontal line here that is 2 inches in length. Right click OK. And then I want to dimension some space between the two, so I'm going to dimension from line to line, and I want that distance to be 1 inch. Now I need to create, if I go back and look, I've created this horizontal line here, in this case vertical, but this line here and this line here, and I'm going to create my arc between the two. So I'm going to grab my arc command, my 3-point arc command, and I'm going to snap to the end of that line, snap to the end of this line. And what you'll notice is if you drag out at one point, you're going to get a tangent constraint. You'll notice there as soon as I hit 0.5, I get tangent constraints on both lines. And this is a 0.5 inch radius because the distance between the two lines is 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and place that, and you'll notice it adds those tangent constraints and the two constraints to let us know those arcs and lines are connected. So the next thing I need to do is, if I go back to my activity sheet, I've made this line, and this arc. I need to come in, make this line, and then this arc. So I'm going to go back into Inventor. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to grab the line command, and I'm going to make a vertical line from this endpoint down 0.75 inches, perpendicular to that original line. And then I'm going to use the line command again, and I'm going to create a line that's horizontal from that endpoint that's 0.15 inches long. Now that I've had those lines created, I'm going to go and grab my arc command, and I'm going to make an arc between these 2 points. And once again, if you drag out, eventually you'll see those tangent constraints apply themselves. So I'll go ahead and click there, and you'll see those tangent constraints. I'll escape out of that command, and then I'm going to right click on this line I created and delete it because we don't need it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is grab another line command, and I want to create another line this way that is going to be 0.5 inches in length. And then I'm going to create one last line, and this last one is going to be 1 inch in length. Right click and OK. And then I'm going to create one final arc using 3-point arc from endpoints of these lines, and I'm going to pull this out until I get to the snap of my tangent constraints, which is 0.25 inches. Right click OK, and then I'm going to right click on that line I created and hit delete. Now I have my path for my paperclip. I need to go in and create the profile to sweep along that path. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this sketch. And what you'll need to do is create a work plane that is perpendicular to this sketch at this endpoint of this line here. So in order to do that, all you have to do is select a plane in Work Features, go to the endpoint of that line, go and click, and then without moving your cursor, click one more time, and that'll place that line. So you basically need to, let me undo that real quick and show you again. Grab the plane, go to the endpoint of that line till you see that point highlight, click once, and then click again, and it'll place that line. Now what we'll do is go to Start 2D Sketch on that plane we just created, and right there in the center is the endpoint of that line, and I need to create a circle there to sweep along that path I just created. And for right now, we're just going to go with 0.1 inches and hit enter. And I'm going to finish that sketch. And now I can go to my sweep command. It automatically selects my profile because it's the only closed shape that's available. And then it automatically moves to path, so it wants me to select the correct path. And you'll notice you've done this right if you hover over it and it highlights the entire path you created. If it only highlights sections of it, it's because some of your lines aren't connected or there might be some constraint issues. So I'll go ahead and click on that path, and it'll automatically sweep that circular profile along that path to create a solid shape. And I'll hit OK. And the last thing I want to do, or last two things rather, I want to go and hide that work plane. So I'll right click on the work plane in the browser and uncheck visibility. Scroll or move around just to make sure everything looks good. I'll go to my color library up here, and I'll just find a metal that I want to apply. So I'm going to apply this aluminum material to it just to give it a nicer look. And you are complete with the paperclip. Now all you need to do is make sure that you save it as the correct name. So you'll notice it's paperclip _ first initial last name, and save it in your 5.7 folder.